everyone, and welcome to the International Racing League. This is the 16th round of the championship, and we're here in France at the Decatur Raceway, named after the Decatur family. It's been a quiet news weekend. There's nothing been much to talk about, surprisingly. Mass effect, the 75 car of Bulgaria Daniels was sent to the rear of the field after her collision with Everett Masana in the final laps of the round of Holland. Other than that, this really has not been any news. We expect some silly season news, though, to happen sometime in the near future. With all that being said, let's take a look at the starting grid. Jessie Knox takes another pole position. She's been doing really good on her qualifying laps today. Marco on her outside. I think Marco is looking for a good, decent result today. Belle Seydoux, the French woman, making her debut for Disney Motorsports. It's on the inside of row 2, followed by points leader James Cathcart. Then the Team Rocket team leader of Giovanni Blair is on the inside of Beulah Ling. Ariston and Masana make up row 4. Row 5, Raul Carroll and Emma Berlin. Row 6 has the Ferrari drivers of Brady Thorne and Chris Rigazzoni. Row 7, Pierre Lamont and Kaylee Zappa. The Swift Motorsport cars, as you're going to notice throughout the day, have new paint schemes. So we're going to try to showcase those off today. And then we got Rich Roy and Devin Butler row 8. Row 9, Wesley Joel and Casper Ackerman. Ackerman's having a good year despite that car being underpowered and underfunded. It pays to keeping your car on the racetrack. Excuse me. Nick Kane making a one of his part running on a partial schedule, and independent trophy driver Vijay Rio. Raver and Rodriguez, row 11. Bennett and Cording both winning more on row 12. Row 13, Orman and Lance Templeton. Nice run by Templeton considering his equipment. Then Victoria Antonov and Dolores Madrigal. We expected more from Madrigal considering where she's been all year. Holiday and Jackson, row 15. 16, Grainer, Smithley definitely run more. Souza and West on the next row. Patrick Kenny making his debut. The Irishman looking for a decent result. And then David Bison. Tanner Hill and Stashton got what they wanted. Regazzoni and Rexha both spun off on their qualifying laps. And Bulgaria Daniel, like we mentioned in the pre-race news spiel thing, got a penalty for her collision with Everett Masana. Despite being on qualifying 8th, Everett Masana will not take the green flag due to an engine failure. Huge blow for her, any hope she had to attack the Team Rocket cars today in the championship. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Jessie Knox will take the green flag. She's been really solid in qualifying all year, and this is certainly helping her catch her team in the points lead as we're waiting for the green flag. Down the French straightaway, green flag, and away we go. Giovanni Blair already trying to make a move on Belle Seydoux. So is Raul. That's Aris doing a block. There's contact. They all came together surprisingly, but they're 4 wide into the snake, and Cathcart's around. So James Cathcart already spun out on the first turn of the snake, as the first turn is called. Very difficult to manage, and we've seen a lot of incidents in practice and qualifying. Here is James Cathcart, who's on the outside. In the second row, see the 33 makes a late block on Carroll, and this just forces a 4-wide situation that was not going to work. And, well, then chaos ensued in front of him. Looks like the 50 hit the curb as well. After Seydoux tried to give, I think that was the F66 some room. But a huge disaster of a start for the Team Rocket car, or at least for one of them. As they're still trying to go 4 wide in the back, entering Tyson's Bend, named after professional boxer Mike Tyson. So we're 3-4 wide all. That's a lot of white cars. I want to put the field. Kenny went opposite to someone else, and then Berlin's around. It's upside down. So the 63 is upside down. I see Lou Greer spinning, and Berlin flips spectacularly. Here's Berlin's view of the start. The 15 tried to give everyone room, and that didn't work. Viola Ling also had a bit of a spin. I see Pierre Lamont also got some damage in this incident. Everyone trying to scatter for position, trying to get going. The 63 car stuck behind the slowing 15 and got turned on his outside. And at this point, you're entering Tyson's Bend with way too many cars in too small of a space. The track looks wide, but in Tyson's Bend, this racing line is very narrow. As you can see, Kenny and several others go off and get loose, and that's what flips the 63 over. Grainer got a piece of hits inside. Well, that is Baguette Regazzoni just put out there qualifying and nowhere for Pierre Lamont to go, and that's going to take Pierre Lamont out of the race. Shame looking at Belle Seydoux making her first start of the season, and Giovanni Blair, who hasn't made many starts at all. They're fighting over third as, 62 wide. Here comes Blair on the inside. And he's going to take third. Kyle Rule, the last weekend's winner, who won on debut, but in his first start of the year. Looks like trying to make a move in the 62. Here's Inge Harrison, who's fallen backwards after having all that damage inflicted on her car. Nothing really much she can do. See, that's Neat Ormer getting loose. And behind her is Patrick Kennedy making her debut. And oh, 33 just got punted out of the way. So Patrick Kennedy making his first start in the 16 car as Inge Harrison was just punted out of the way by someone. We're waiting for a weird play, and it's Silly Souza who punted the 33 up the hill. Souza just fed up in an auto 33 and punts it. Punts her out of the way. Souza is going to get a black flag for this. I'm not sure why the graphic didn't show up. Meanwhile, Giovanni Blair is going to try to make a move on the second place car of Denny Marco. Seydoux has held off Kyle Rule's attempt to take third. Down the inside, same way he got past Seydoux, and he's going to take third. Behind it, Kyle Rule is making a move on his countrywoman, Ben River. Anyway, here's Tim Korting and Kaylee Zappa, a few cars ahead. Both rocking new paint schemes for Swift Motorsports, and both promptly throw it off the racetrack. As long as Victoria Antonov, nice for her to join the Swift Motorsport pair. So, Swift Motorsports' start not going too well. Meanwhile, Blair is catching the lap car of Lou Grainer, and going a bit wide, trying too hard. Mark has a run. Danny Marquez, I think, is holding up these cars because the 58 is capable of getting around the 79 and was pulling away before he caught the lap car. Grainer holding his line, though it's not really a good spot to be for a lap car. But yeah, Marquez is definitely holding up position 3, 4, and 5. Something that I don't think Giovanni Blair is fond of. And he is still getting held up by Grainer. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Grainer, slow car, awfully lap, is holding up the 58 at 066. Blair has enough and puts 77 out of the way. But this is going to open the door for Kyle Rule to take fourth. And here's the 77. Here's an review of it. I'm not sure why we need to look at it. It's kind of simple what happened. Blair had enough of Grainer and flips him over. That's another hard hit in that part of the racetrack. And that's a spectacular crash as well. Grainer would also climb out of his car. A-OK. Nick Kane back in the 6th car. His last start was in New Brunswick. He didn't do half bad over there. Running for Frank Walker again. Having a good time. However, he is getting challenged by Wesley Joel, who is rumored to be going up to the factory Toyota team next season. Joel's been having a good run, and I just jinxed him. He's off the road, and no, that's the car he's probably replacing. The All-Lang also has thrown off the track in the Snake. Blair making the move on Carroll for 4th. He is caught up to the 66. This 58 car is definitely fast. Just does it. Ooh, that was close. But yeah, this 58 car is fast, but it's been mired behind traffic, and that 79 car is definitely holding up a few people because Jesse Knott is gone. Legacy Butler's making a move on Carroll as Blair is trying to set up Belle Seydoux. Carlos Rodriguez is going to be the next victim of the Snake as he throws it off the road. Rodriguez also on a partial schedule with Universal Motorsports. Meanwhile, Danny Marquez is holding 2nd, not really comfortably, and you can see Jesse Knott is nowhere in the shot. I think they went for a qualifying setup and hope Marco can defend for his life, which he's doing. Brady Thorne having a good run. This season has been miserable for her, along with the driver behind her, Rich Roy. The reigning champion has been in crashes, engine failures, and all sorts of schmozzle. She's throwing Butler off the road. Butler doesn't like that and gives her a shot. But I think eventually, there's been rumors that this 13 might change. Instead of Butler's putting her off the road, and Butler goes flipping over the wall. And this is exactly why Brady Thorne has not been able to hold her defender title. Behind her, while this was happening, Rich Roy visits the Lana signs. Nice for him, I guess. He needs some sponsorship up to win a car. Anyway, Dolores Magical and Ryan Raver now in here 7th, I believe. Raver probably out of ride next year because he didn't qualify for the US 500 US 500 because, well, it's Team Star USA. You have to qualify for the race that your team name is based off of. Though Raver has to run up the hill, Madrigal, I think, is just patiently waiting as they come down. Madrigal has an independence trophy to think about. Well, Raver's trying to audition for anyone who would take them, basically, at this rate. Coming down the hill into this little straightaway. I think Madrigal might have a look on the inside, but Raver is defending it quite well onto Farmer Straight. Madrigal ran a little wide. I wonder if she ran that one on purpose. Here she comes, peeking out on the high side, entering this little bend turn thing. But Raver's gonna have the inside line entering the last 2 turns of the circuit. Speed, nice job of building. Coming down the main straightaway, they're still side by side. And the BMW of Dolores Madrigal is going to clear Raver. Raver, though, did give her a good run for her money. But the Colombian up into 7th. A herring position that was once Devin Butler's and Brianna Thorns. She runs a bit wide. Doesn't look like Raver has anything to do about it. Battle for 3rd. But Blair already setting up the 62. Looks for a dive bomb. Studio keeps sees him, makes him run a little hard. The 58 messes up the turn and he takes them both out. That was a send and it failed miserably for Blair. Anyways, here's the the 75 and 55 have both been making up positions. The 75 is already up to 12 after having a penalty. So nice run made by the 75 crew. He's trying to run down Cressler Gazzoni. Here is Nathan Norman, who's running around somewhere in the bottom half of the points. You can see that's how far Balstedo has fallen. Actually, that's not that bad, actually, because they just broke her up ahead. And never mind, Ormond just thrown off the road into Delano's sides. Turn 1 and 2 have been very difficult. You can see James Cathcart, they just ripped the rear end off of that car. He's exiting the pits now. And 79 is entering the pits on the same lap. So it looks like that's how Marco is going to try to catch the 70 who's pitting this time by pit strategy. Though, well, he's doesn't work out too well. He's fallen behind Roll Carroll. This is the battle for 2nd. You can see Jesse Knott still holds the lead. Dolores Madrigal running 5th at the line, we believe. Scoring's at the update. Yeah, she's running 5th behind Nick Kane, who's in 4th. Madrigal having a good run. Sadu has fallen to the order. Madrigal's off the road, so she won't be holding 5th for long. Here's Carlos Rodriguez at 8 and Jackson. Jackson might be heading up to the factory Ferrari team if Keith Thorne doesn't set us or gets fired. Entering into the snake, a little bit of contact, nothing bad. Rodriguez can have a run on the outside, and we'll take that position. A nice clean move, something we haven't seen much of all day. Anyway, here's Regazzoni now hounding Dolores Madrigal after Madrigal has had that little spin. Regazzoni looking left, right. Madrigal holds the line, and Regazzoni proves it is possible to run the hill without jumping someone. Now he has the inside line over Madrigal. Madrigal's left-hand side's all beat up because of the Delano signs, but Regazzoni still can't get around her. Now BMW working favors for Madrigal as Hazel sees him, but that 64 car is hurting. You can see Regazzoni is gaining rapidly throughout the turns, and that Ferrari car is not much of a well, the Ferrari isn't much good in a straight line. It's really catching that 64 car. Entering last two turns, Regazzoni looks slow, can't get it done still. Madrigal doing a great job defending. And moving down the racetrack, Regazzoni's there. Madrigal sees him, moves out of the way a bit, and the 55 is going to blow by her. So Madrigal's day not going too well, though her independence trophy lead is through the roof. Meanwhile, Patrick Kenny making his debut, Kaya West, Ryan Raver, Kaylee Zappa, and Ryuho all squabbling the bottom half of the points. As Kenny throws in the inside of the A4, and the 10 the 020 see blood and try to go for it, but I really can't do much. Kenny was slowing to the racetrack on the A4. I wasn't surprised the 84 didn't do a crossover, but he I guess didn't have the speed. Though Kaylee Zappa sees an opportunity, goes underneath of them both. Kaylee Zappa's got both of them, and Kennedy's running off the road. Then makes some contact with Rickshaw, excuse me. As that 16 car is all sorts of sideways and is starting to cause traffic. Up the hill, still holding off both the Finn and the young American. Rio desperately needs to get past these two if he wants any hope at catching Carol and Madrigal up in the independent shipping title, which is especially important because Madrigal is having a horrible race today. Kenny holds the spot for now. I think River's going to try to go around the outside. Really can't get it done. Though the 020 did have a look on the inside. Down, Farmer straight. Raver's gonna look low, entering the bend. Kenny shuts the door, and their nose, 2-2, can throw a blanket all over three of them. And finally, Rickshaw has a look low, behind the building, exiting the final turn. Still side by side. Good racing. Ruho's gonna try to make it 3 wide on the main straightaway, and the snake guy might want to sort this out before he gets down there. Raver takes the spot. Kenny fades back in line. Ruho's gonna try to make a send, and, well, thinks better of it. The Raver makes the all that work only to throw it off the road. Ryan Raver doing a great job. Battle for second. Carol and Danny Marca. Marca has finally found some speed in that 79 car is not being a moving chicane. Carol throws off the track a little bit. Mark on his left-hand side and is running him off the road. That's a little uncalled for. This is going to take away all of Carol's momentum. Though he keeps his foot in it, surprisingly, but he's riding the curve basically into the exit of Tyson's Bend. I can't see that Marco getting away with that one. That was a little naughty on his part, but it looks like Carol's catching a bit, so I wonder. Oh, okay, solves that problem. Carol, I think, may have been told, don't worry about passing him, you're gonna get him when he pits. So Danny Marco, it wasn't a hard work, just shoved the 066 car out of the way. Dolores Madrigal, on the other hand, is falling through the field significantly. Another way to put it, there's Victoria Undonov looking on her outside, entering the snake, or down the front straightaway. Now entering the snake, which is that left right bend that's been catching out a lot of people. Here is the 62 and 15, both battle damaged. And Sadu runs it a bit wide. Cathart says hello. Surprisingly no contacts, considering how messy both of their races have been. Tyson's Bend 15 right on the bumper of Gibster. I think some contact, not a lot. But runs the 62. Oh, that's some more bumper tag, but they're keeping it nice and clean. Surprisingly knowing how this race has been. Not surprising knowing the drivers. That 15 car's all over the place. All sorts of sideways. But Sadu holds a position going into the hill, but Cathart may have a lunge, and it doesn't look like it. Sadu holds a position. Meanwhile, Patrick Kenny is causing a bit of a traffic jam. But again, this time with Ackerman, Smithley, and Regazzoni, who's Regazzoni. Excuse me. Both Regazzoni. That's not Regazzoni, excuse me, that's DeThorne. That's kind of surprised. I thought the Thorn both excuse me. I thought Brandon Thorn fell through the field. But Garrett Regazzoni has not had a great day compared to her brother. As you can tell, Chris is the only one to stay in the top 10 for Ferrari. DeThorne, we all know what happened with Thorn. Ackerman going on the inside of Patrick Kenny. Smithley thought about for a second, and I think DeThorne is just letting them through. Kenny, there's a bit of a... Kenny did not want to get that spot. There's a bit of Regazzoni contact! Ugh, that was a hairy situation. Kenny checked up suddenly. I don't think any of us three expected it. And I think that's what caused 54 and 13 to, go sideways. But I don't think the 14 thought like that. He's taking... that's another shot that I clicked for. So I wonder if we missed something between the 54 and 14. Because the 14 gave Ackerman another shot. That's a third shot. Kenny getting out of the way wisely before that happens. Ackerman in the infield. And the 14 immediately has a penalty for aggressive driving. That was 4 shots in the span of in a very short time for that to happen. The great recovery made by Ackerman. As the 79 puts a lap on the 64, while Blair, Courting, and Jackson all pass for position. Courting makes a dive on the 58, and the 58 hits the curb and spins up the... How has he not been put off the track already? That's the second accident that Blair's caused down there. Anyways, Trent Sebastian making a move on his independent streak rival. I won't call it rival because Madrigal's way leaks ahead of everyone in that points in that championship. Sebastian does the same thing Blair does, and kind of West wins him. So not so good runs over there. Here's the 70, all by her lonesome. Huge lead for the Team Rocket driver. She's now catching Patrick Kenny in the 16 car. Kenny, very clean debut, a lot of sketchy moments for him. Up the hill goes the pair of them. I'm not sure where we're still. Oh! Contact, and Kenny's off the road and out of the race. So Patrick Kenny's debut was cut short by impatient leader. I don't see why the 70 needed to do that. The 60 was getting out of the way as well. So Jessie Knott's taking out her frustration on some of these lap cars by taking out a lap car that was actually doing his job and getting out of the way. And a few laps later, the 70 will pit, so I wonder if that contact cut a tire, but well, it looks like it's scheduled. As Viola Wing's miserable day continues, there's a lot of tire marks over there. I don't think we've caught everyone spinning out in the snake, by the way. There has been a lot of incidents over there. Carroll pits from second. Here's the 60, the 70, entering the final two turns, and this is probably making down the front straightaway. That dome overhead captures all the sound and it reverberates on the front straightaway. It's very nice. A lot of people like it. You can see the family, you can see the track banner on the front straightaway entering the snake. And Knotts has held the lead. Marco's running in third, but he's off schedule. When he pit, he took full service. So it's a little different over on that side of the camp. I think he's going for oh, there's Ryan River off the track. But I think he's trying to get second via pit strategy and maybe try to get the lead that way. There's Nick Kane, who has inherited inherited third. So nice run made by the 79 crew. Here's Kaylee Zappa in the snake, going off the racetrack. Nothing new over there. Here is Danny Marco going on the 88. You can see Roller Car Rose up ahead. So whatever adjustments they've made, they've really helped the 79 car as they get around this 88, and they made the car too loose. Marco's off the road and probably ends any threat of him punting anyone off out of the way. Allison Holiday down the front straightaway, and for focusing someone on the front straightaway with no one around them, you can guarantee what's about to happen. Entering the snake, and goes off the road. The snake has caught a lot of people out today. Here's Jessie Knotts still leading. A lot of cars ahead of him. I wouldn't be surprised if they're quaking in fear because something will happen to Patrick Kenny. Wait, Knotts is off the road. So Jessie Knotts with the race lead is thrown off the road. Can she get it going before Carroll catches to him? There goes Stashin Zappa, who's been off that grass more times than not. Knotts is going to get going, but that lead has shrunk significantly. And Carroll can now get his second win in a row if he has the speed. Here is Nate Orman, Caitlin Tannerhill, and Baguette Regazzoni all running into the top 20. Regazzoni definitely gets after. Whoa! On the curb, it just punts Nate Orman. Nathaniel Orman race ends rather rudely after Baguette Regazzoni decides to punt him for no reason. Here's Allison Holiday entering the snake and see the and that's Regazzoni getting what is a penalty. Holiday unsponsored, having a nice run. There are some possible sponsorship opportunities on this 56 car. We haven't heard really much, but this blank 56 car may not be as blank anymore. Holiday's win at New Mountain and several other good finishes when that car is in the wall it's a blank car like I'm looking for. You can see the lead has shrunk significantly as James Cather is now running in 6th with like 4 laps to go. So a very good run. Trying to put a lap on his team owner. Entering the snake, overcooks it, contact with his team owner. That's not really what you want to do. And Giovanni Blair is holding up his employee. Maybe not really a good thing, especially that's a battle for position behind him. Okay, Blair hit the brakes now, and oh no. Okay, Blair's making his employee fight for. Did we miss something between the two? Cathar on the curve, take a swing at the 75, and because his team owner doesn't know what a mirror is, here comes Daniels. Bulgar Daniels is going to take 6th because Giovanni Player is not paying attention of his rear mirror or his windshield. But Cathar's going to give a bump at the 75 to try to take the position back. Side by side down the hill. However, the 75 has no damage compared to the wadded up rear end of the 15 as Kaylee Zappa spins out again. Anyways, here is Raul Carroll is closing in on the 70 like a killer shark. As Knots was at the very top of your screen. So this race is not over. There's not much time left, but Carroll is catching the 70 very quickly. The Frenchman looking for a win in front of his home crowd. That would be huge for anyone winning in front of their home crowd, especially for Carroll, considering he's trying to catch Dolores Madrigal in the title, in the Independence Trophy title. So that's really important. But Carroll is trying too hard, hits the carpet, spins the 066 out, and into the wall he goes. Nick Kane gets past him for second. Meanwhile, this is the battle position behind the race leader, who is limping along now, I like to mention. The 6 is faster than her and is gaining back. Don't think there's enough time now. He is well back. Anyway, Ruja is trying to get around Kaylee Zappa in the 10 car. Zappa, remember, filling in for the injured Matthew Evans, who might be back by the time the series heads to Japan. That'd be nice to see. However, Zappa is basically picking up right where Evans left off. So there's a possibility that Zappa and Evans might be the full-time drivers next year as they're going 3-1 with the leader. I wouldn't be surprised if Nuts just hits the brakes and let them go by, because she's just trying to keep the car finished. Zappa runs off the course! Jesse Knox is probably shaking now. Now I'm happy about fear, considering what's going on. Here's Dolores Madrigal. And that is second place, Nick Kane. So Nick Kane trying to get Frank Walker's first win since 2012. The driver who won that race was Gris Taran, the 14th, the Mexican, who won a very thrilling duel with, not Jared Jackson, with Iapo and Selmy. Here, believe it or not. So, anyway, here's the battle for about half the points. Lance Templeton trying to hold off James Cathar. Contact! Big shots for both the 46 and 15. Carlos Rodriguez involved over Blair to go. Cautions out with 2 laps to go. This will end the race. And that is a huge lick for Templeton and both Cathar. We have no word on their medical condition, but 2 huge hits for Templeton and Cathar. As that was the 15 camera went cut immediately. Templeton, here's his on board as we're going through the hill. Cathar just hooks the 46 and hard into that guardrail. Thankfully, the IRL cars are pretty safe, but that was a few huge impacts for Templeton and Cathar. Everyone who finished the race got points, effectively, and Jesse Knott's got every point available. Kane comes home second, also close, and Carroll, despite not winning the race, is chewing away at the Independence Trophy. Sidio fourth on her debut and her race, followed by Regazzoni and Bulgar Daniels, who was given a penalty, comes up to 6th. Well, way to make a miss of the penalty. Joel, Aiden, Antonov, and Bennett finished out the top 10. Courting, despite having a few offs, finishes 11th, and same for Regazzoni. Stashed in another great claw up their field, along with Ryujo. Zappa, despite being more off the track more than on the track, grabs 15th. Reber 16th. Ackerman continuing how to show people how to gain the points so everyone falls out. Kyle West as well. Holiday and Bison round up the top 20. Madrigal won't gain any points for the Independence Trophy, but still a solid finish. Viola Ling's fall through the points continues. Roy is just happy to score points considering how his year's been going. Rickshaw from the back row of the grid gets some points for his troubles. And Caitlin Tannerhill, while everyone else followed around her, she didn't really have many offs and will score the last points. James Cathar still has the points lead despite being on his lid. Jesse Knotts is the only driver that can reach him in the points, and no one can reach Jesse Knotts. it's worth noting, without the top two being Team Rocket cars, we would have a very exciting points battle. Bolger Daniels and Vila Ling are 3rd and 4th. Marco basically held ground. Masana did, though, fall a few spots because she didn't really start the race. Bennett, has been nowhere. Casper Ackerman, like to mention, that car has been underfunded, has changed owners, barely any sponsorship, and is running 8th. That's what consistency does. Ackerman has been in the series for longer than anyone, or basically anyone in the top 25. And he is showing how you stay in a title hunt. Well, he's not really in the title hunt, but he's showing how to make the most out of a bad car. Burlington and Erickson run the top 10. Orman, Raver, Regazzoni on the next few cars doing what they can. Joel and Jackson both proving why they deserve to be in better rides. Magical not making any starts is making the most of them. Same with Butler's making more starts. But his points penalty hasn't really helped. Lamont and Roy have had bad luck. Carson in the same situation as Madrigal. Smithley, Eden of DeThorn. Smithley and DeThorn deserve better years and are not doing a good job. And IRL and UC Roki have not made as many starts as everyone else in the top 25. And look where they are. The series will return about an hour east of here at the very track, actually, to Grand Fenwick at the Circuit de Grand Fenwick. About a country that's about, I don't know, as big as New York City. That race is always exciting and always has a surprise winner for us, seemingly. We hope to see you there.